Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a parent, I want you to think about this for a second. How many times have you felt totally worn out by discipline? It's not because you don't care about your kids. It's because the old tools just aren't working anymore. We've all been there. We try punishment. We try yelling. We try rewards, threats, or even just giving in because we're exhausted. And yeah, sometimes the behavior stops for a minute, but you know what doesn't grow? Cooperation, confidence, and real responsibility. So today, I want to talk about why that is and what actually helps our kids behave better in the long run. There's this powerful mental shift that changes everything, and it's the difference between winning asterisk against asterisk your child and winning your child asterisk over asterisk. See, many of us were raised to believe that discipline is all about control. If our child obeys, we win. If they stop whatever they're doing, the problem feels solved. But when we win through fear, or force, or shame, somebody always loses. And most of the time, it's our child's confidence, their trust in us, and their natural willingness to cooperate. Think about it. A child who feels defeated usually responds in one of two ways. They either become rebellious, constantly pushing back against everything, or they become overly compliant. They look obedient on the outside, but inside they're anxious or resentful. Neither of those paths leads to a healthy, independent adult. So instead of asking ourselves, how do I win this moment? What if we started asking, how do I build a cooperative relationship over time? Now, effective discipline isn't about being harsh and authoritarian. And it's definitely not about being permissive and letting everything slide. It's about finding that sweet spot, being kind and firm at the same time. Kind means being respectful, staying calm, and showing empathy for their feelings. Firm means having clear, consistent boundaries that don't just disappear when your child puts on the pressure. When kids feel respected and guided, they're so much more willing to work with us, not against us. Let's talk about confidence. We all want our kids to be confident, right? So we praise them, we give them rewards, we reassure them. But sometimes, without even realizing it, we're accidentally teaching them that their self-worth depends entirely on what other people think. They learn to ask, "Did you like what I did?" instead of asking themselves, "Was I proud of how I handled that?" This kind of confidence is incredibly fragile. These kids might grow up to be people pleasers, or they might become terrified of taking risks because making a mistake feels humiliating. But real, lasting confidence doesn't come from praise. It comes from competence. Kids feel strong and capable when they truly believe in themselves. When they think, I can learn how to do this, or I can handle it when things get tough, or I can contribute to my family in a meaningful way. So, how do we build that? Instead of trying to just give our kids self-esteem through compliments, we can teach them the skill of self-evaluation. We can help them reflect on their own actions. We can ask questions like, what happened there? What did you learn from that? What could you try differently next time? And then we give them real opportunities to practice being responsible, helping around the house, managing their schoolwork, and just navigating daily life. Kids don't feel valuable just because we admire them all day. They feel valuable when they know that they matter and that they are needed. Okay, let's get practical. Let's talk about a simple way to gain cooperation and avoid those endless power struggles. There's a 4-step approach that works wonders. First, acknowledge your child's feelings. Name what you see and check if you're right. Say something like, I can see you're really frustrated right now. Is that right? Second, show empathy, but without approving of the behavior. Understanding their feelings doesn't mean you're excusing their actions. Third, calmly share your own concern. Once a child feels understood, they are way more open to actually listening to you. And fourth, invite them to problem solve with you. Ask, what do you think would help us next time? Or how can we handle this together? This simple process moves kids from being defensive to being cooperative, and from resisting to taking responsibility. Now, here's one of the most overlooked parts of parenting: your tone of voice. The exact same sentence can feel supportive or totally shaming, all depending on how you say it. Even using natural consequences can turn into a punishment if we add a layer of sarcasm, blame, or humiliation. Imagine your child spills a glass of milk. One response is, "What's wrong with you? Look at this mess. Clean it up now." Another response is, "Oops. Spills happen. What do you think we should do to clean it up?" The outcome is the same: the mess gets cleaned. But the message is completely different. One says, "You are the problem." The other says, "You are capable of solving this." It's also crucial to understand why kids misbehave. Children don't misbehave because they're bad. They misbehave because they are trying to meet a fundamental need. All behavior has a purpose, even when kids can't articulate what it is. And the most common need driving misbehavior is a need for belonging and significance. They want to feel connected and important. When children don't know how to feel connected in healthy ways, they'll try unhealthy ones by arguing, being demanding, withdrawing, or just acting out. A misbehaving child is very often a discouraged child. So instead of asking, "How do I stop this behavior?" we can ask, "What is my child trying to communicate to me right now?" When we address the need underneath the behavior, the change happens so much faster, and our relationship with them grows stronger. Kids also have a deep need for chances to contribute. They don't just want to be cared for, they want to be useful. A helpful reminder for us parents is, never do for a child what they can do for themselves. This isn't about being strict, it's because competence builds confidence. Things like chores, daily routines, and having small responsibilities build a sense of belonging far more effectively than any reward or lecture ever could. This all comes down to respect. Equality in the family doesn't mean that children and adults are the same. Of course, adults have more experience and responsibility, but every child deserves equal dignity and respect as a human being. That's why shaming just doesn't work. It damages the connection between you. And that connection is where all cooperation grows from. Mistakes are not failures. They are opportunities for learning. We can model this for our kids with 3 simple steps. First, recognize the mistake. Second, repair the relationship. And third, resolve together what to do differently next time. When children see us adults take responsibility for our own mistakes, they learn how to do the same. In the end, positive discipline isn't about being permissive or letting kids do whatever they want. It's about raising children who cooperate because they feel respected, capable, and connected, not because they're afraid of us. It's all about winning your child over instead of winning against them. So this week, I challenge you to try just one small shift. Before you react to a behavior, just pause. Take a breath. Try to name the feeling your child might be having. Hold the boundary firmly but kindly. And then, invite them to problem solve with you. Because when we shift our focus from control to connection, we don't just change their behavior in the moment, we build their character for a lifetime. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.